We're here at the end of the city council meeting with the Vice Mayor Aaron Rawls. Tell us a little bit about the Martinsville Land Bank, if you can.
The land bank is kind of a holding tank for a very small number of properties in the city. And one of them is the property where a housing complex called Aaron Mills is going on Aaron Street. Now, all the maneuvering that we did in this meeting, I don't fully understand it. What we have come to understand through our attorneys, this thing is quite old. It was set up a long time ago. It wasn't set up quite right. So we had to kind of maneuver ourselves into making it legally right, and then once we did that, we appointed proper people to it, and then we transferred that property over to the developer who's going to be developing the senior living complex.
Do you know how many houses we might be able to expect out of that?
Well, look, the word houses, when you say houses, we're not talking about like Monopoly where you're sticking 3 little things on there. This is a complex, and a lot of projects you're going to see in the city will be complexes. I don't know how many single family developments we'll see coming to Martinsville. We'll be lucky to get one. I think that'd be cool. But this is a senior living complex, and I want to say it's, if I remember right, and it's been a while, somewhere between like 50 and 60 units that they're looking to do. And I don't know if the guy left, but you could ask him.
Okay. A little bit of a reality check, because my audience is always asking me about the Reeves Road project and the 200 homes and being able to fit that in the 20-acre space. And I think that's a fair question.
Again, homes are complex. I'm not aware of any effort to try and put 200 homes on that site.
Could it be like more like apartments? Is that what we think? Yeah.
There was an actual, you can go look at the, I guess you would call it a conceptual presentation that the developer provided to us.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be no project that I'm aware of in the city of Martinsville where someone's looking at building like 20 single family homes,
right? Let
alone like hundreds.
Okay.
I don't even know of anywhere locally where there's a several hundred home development. You can check on that. I'm not aware of that. But some of these complexes, like the one that we received a proposal for on the 5 Points intersection at Church Street, I think that's a 22-unit complex, and that's a relatively small one. So these are more options that we're looking at for workforce housing, firefighters, teachers, people who are looking for more affordable rents, and who might not want to care for a home, which is kind of where a lot of us are at, including me. I don't want to mow grass anymore. I don't want to deal with any of that. I want someone else to do all the work.
Right.
So I hope that clarifies. I'm a little bit confused.
Can I add some clarification?
Sure. Yes.
Sorry, I'm jumping in here.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think where people, no, don't leave. I think where people are getting confused is Vice Mayor has often talked about we need 200 new housing units here.
Okay.
And so when people hear the Reeves Road project,
right,
and what we're trying to do there, I think they took that 200 and thought it's going to go there. That's not what he or any of us were saying. The developer will come to us with specific plans on the appropriate number of units that would go there. So don't think of something like the 5 Points housing where it was it was like right off the street and you had them all stuck together. That's not what we're looking at all. So I think we're confusing two different things. So yes, do we think there's a need for 200 additional units here in Martinsville? Absolutely. But it's not all going to go there on the Reeves Road side. I think that's where a lot of the confusion is coming from.
And it being the, like, standalone homes. That's not going to be. You know how critical we were of the previous attempts to do that. It's the last thing on earth I would want to do. And part of the strategy, some behind the scenes stuff for your citizens, part of the strategy when you have a 40-acre site like that is what you don't want to do is let any developer come in and take the prime 5 acres and then the rest of it becomes an undesirable piece. You really want someone to come in there and try to make the whole lot work for you. So what that's done, because we were smart and strategic about this, we've now got this over with folks who are working with the state, figuring out what are the entrances and exits, what new roads do we need, what are the utility accommodations we need to make. So what they're doing is they're looking at this from a holistic site perspective. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot by taking the prime 5 acres or 10 acres or whatever is like easily buildable and then leaving the rest as wasted land. So that's kind of the strategy here, is to make the most of what we got.
Is this our one of our number one things to try to solve is the housing problem?
Yeah, we've talked about that a ton of times, and the Reeves Road site is only one component. I mean, we've got like 8, 10 something things that are in various stages of us talking to developers, figuring out what we want to do here. That's one of the, in my opinion, that's always been like number 4, 5, 6 on the list for us in terms of excitement. The ones that are most exciting we're working on, they take a lot of time. And I had to get reminded the other day, this is a patient man's game, and you know me, I'm like, go.
Right.
But we got to do it right. It's most important that we do not drop the ball, as has sometimes happened in the past. And the city's out money, we're out money. We're looking at ways to do this, but we're not using any city money. And we've been pretty successful in doing this so far.
I couldn't help but notice that on this grass thing that you guys are like adamant about something being done. I keep hearing that. Do you think the former staff hadn't?
No, I don't want to pick on any staff. Culture-wise, and we've talked about this with you before, there's a different, I think, culture. And I think that there was a matter of, I don't know if it's timing or community spirit or whatever you want to call it, there's a culmination of people that were like, we have had enough with this. And if you want, and it's one of those things, we've seen this in Martinsville, where people will come out and represent their institution or organization, and they'll give you this huge puff piece that everything's perfect, and you're like, I live here. I know all of that is nonsense.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's at here is we can't go around talking about Martinsville's a wonderful place to live, raise a family, have a good, high-quality life if we're not going to fix up the properties that are a problem here. And you know that we're largely talking about commercial stuff, abandoned stuff. We're not talking about the grandma who's got a little bit of facial work to be done on her house as a senior citizen. We're talking about things like when you drive through a major thoroughfare in Martinsville, it looks like an abandoned city. And we've got a number of those.
All right, the last question I got to ask is about the city building, about pressure washing out front of that building. Yeah. When are we going to do it?
We're going to do it.
Like, we've been waiting a year.
You know that I've avoided that for a long time. We're going to do it. Yeah.
Mike, can you tell me when?
Will you give me 60 days?
Okay.
See, when I make a promise, you know how many things I'm working on.
Right.
And then you start like, Aaron, it's day 48. I'm like, geez, dude. But Elsie and I stood outside and looked at it, and we want to get it done soon.
Because I mean, if leadership means you got to do your house too, right?
It is, man, and you do understand when you talk about leadership, Councilmember Pierce. We're talking about 1,000 issues.
Is she leaving?
She's getting out of here.
You think we can get that front clean in 60 days?
We'll give it the best best we can.
Adina.
Yeah.
Adina.
We're gonna put them on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what you even told me, to keep you accountable.
And Mr. Mayor.
Yep. Hey, Tully.
I told Charles you made a promise to have the front of the building pressure washed within 60 days. 60 days. 60 days.
We got the grass, taking care of the grass. So how about the front of the building?
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. Look, not only the front of the building, we're going to work on as you come through the building. We want to make it safer and more appealing and more inviting to our citizens, so that they don't feel like they come and going to jail or having the hardship of paying the bill. So we're working on a lot of customer service issues that we want to make it a lot more appealing. So yeah, it's definitely 60 days is
it doable?
Turnaround. It's definitely doable.
Okay. Because it's been a while. It's been like a year now.
Yeah. I appreciate the reminder.
All right. Hey, okay, thank you, sir. Hey, real quick, I mean, you got your first year as mayor, passed your and you look more confident than you did when you started.
Well, I got it's the team. It's not me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the team that ever since we brought the new city manager in and having someone that we can trust, someone who has, some real qualifications, and the team that she's building around it instills confidence. And then seeing the other administrators throughout the building, it's amazing. So it feels good. It's a different energy. So yes, it does provide a level of confidence.
I've started my new series called Reality Check. Now, one of the things I got to keep asking you about, because when you and Aaron came on, you talked about some money that maybe didn't get put in the right column and got spent wrong. When will we find out more about that?
Well, it's as we go through the budget process.
Okay.
I told you that's one of the things we wanted to do is drain the swamp. So we want to improve the processes.
Drain the swamp. Okay. All right.
If there's anything that and that's what we found out, and you'll see it as we go through the budget process.
Okay.
The biggest issue was process procedures that
Right.
we just didn't have. And something as small as the city charter hadn't been changed since 1952, getting that updated. So as we go through that, you will see, we will see some errors or some things that should have been changed a long time ago. And, we don't know when you start draining the swamp, you don't know what kind of cars or what you may find there.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, sir.
yes, sir.
Appreciate it, sir. All right.